We got former Lieutenant Commander in the Royal Australian Navy, Greg Keeley, now on this latest focus on these social websites, Facebook Premier among them. And Facebook gets the attention because Syed Farook was actively using the site. In fact, had a page that was only now just recently taken down where he was blabbing about a lot of the things he ultimately pulled off. So when you look at this, Greg, what do you want to see out of the Facebooks and by extension the Googles and some of these other sites?
Neil, good to see you.
Same here.
Fundamentally, the issue is that ISIS and to a lesser extent some of the other Islamic terrorist groups have weaponized social media. They've really just turned our guns on us, as it were. They have the tools at their disposal to pull this Islamic terrorist recruiting, fundraising, etc., off their platforms. They choose not to, so it's a conscious decision. Funnily enough, Facebook have been one of the more proactive in recent months only. Twitter is probably the worst culprit at leaving. You know, you'd think back to the beheading of the journalist Foley. Those images were on Twitter.
You're right about
for days and days and days.
But you know this stuff very well, Greg. But can't they? I know there are algorithms for this sort of thing, where every time you see the word terrorist or attack or right. ISIS. And these algorithms work very, very quickly, lightning fast. And you could punch out a list of people who have used them and then target them, because that is unforgivable language anyway, free speech or not, I would think.
Right. And Neil, you look at the, let's take child pornography or child exploitation, for example.
Right.
When was the last time that was all over Twitter or all over Facebook? It's never all over Twitter or Facebook, because they use these algorithms. Facebook, for instance,
uses
a Microsoft scraper, a Microsoft-based scraper to pull that information.
So why can't we do the same with this?
Well, they absolutely can. They absolutely can. They don't have the will. And, I've heard all this talk about we should be legislating this and legislating that. This isn't for the government. You can't legislate your way out of getting your butt kicked on the cyber battlefield. This is up to these companies to step up and be good corporate citizens.
Maybe they're just afraid of getting sued, because if proof comes out that they let something go by, they're afraid that they're going to have, a pile of lawyers on them.
Well, and maybe if there is any legislation that Congress or any regulation Congress considers, maybe it's some protection for these companies when they're helping law enforcement. But right now, we've seen just yesterday Hillary Clinton go to the Brookings Institute and urge Facebook and Twitter to do more. President Hollande just yesterday urged Facebook and Twitter to do more. He called for a campaign against Islamic terrorism. And even the Anonymous, the hacktivist group, on December 11 are launching a campaign against ISIS. Yet we seem to be sitting here on our hands and doing nothing.
Right.
It's really incumbent upon these media companies to step up.
You make more sense in 4 minutes than a lot of guests do in 4 hours. Greg, thank you very, very much. Good seeing you.
Thanks, Neil.